What's going on, guys? Happy Friday, BTL episode 130 piece. Joined by my guy Jovan, as always, and DeGen on Fridays, who's muted. Goats are always muted.
Sorry, I got a phone call. I apologize about that.
All goods. Hey, gotta pay the bills.
Right. How we doing?
Pay them.
Happy Friday.
Doing well. Happy Friday. We made it. Hope you guys survived that snooze fest of a game last night. Turns out the Pats were fake sharp. I'm happy I didn't even bet them. That's
nice.
Growth.
Good on
That's
you.
Growth right there. Yep. Jovan, you survived yesterday?
Yeah, just barely. Could have done without a little late caps collapse, but it is what it is.
What the fuck, dude?
The Kraken, man. The Kraken.
Yeah. They steal coin.
They're just
every fucking time.
Yeah, they're that team.
Unbelievable, man. We did okay in CBB last night, besides, a melt or two. Shout out OK State for fouling 14 times in the first half. That was awesome. Didn't even know that was possible. That might be a record. I need to look into that. Anyways, we smacked Utah. I wish we smacked the squad ride with Texas. Fell a bucket short. That's on us. But I hope you guys made some coin from the other winners as well. We had plenty of them. But yesterday was yesterday, gents. Today is today. And there's plenty of winners, plenty of bets to find and spoon feed the chat winners, plain and simple. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over, the weekend cheat sheet, obviously. We're going to focus on that a lot. There's a couple college basketball games we could talk about today. And then there's also some games on the ice and hardwood as well, along with some shit college football games. There's actually a game that starts up in like 20 minutes. So why don't we cut the shit and just dive right into that one? DeGen, you got any coins on Akron?
No, that's where it would go. It's either Akron or the under for me.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's such a big move to the total and the spread. I feel like it's got to be injury related. And I just don't really have the capacity to do a deep dive on this game, especially with 2 p.m. World Cup going on. I went 3 units on Serbia, draw or better. So I figured I'm just going to focus on that, not really force this early college game. But I got a few plays heading into the weekend that I'm intrigued by. That's not one of them.
Okay. How about this North Texas UTSA game tonight? Any thoughts on that one?
Jovan, you got anything?
I mean,
no. Also, Jovan, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder about the Akron game. If you have any nukes in that, please let us know.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of nukes in that game. So probably no one and hopefully no one. But this is a game that I don't really care to get involved in either. I would probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Write that one down.
Yeah, it's a special only BTL knowledge you got right there. But
sure,
I mean, here it'd be UNT or nothing for me. Another one that I don't really care to get involved in. I think it's a back and forth game. It's a higher total, 70, which is probably pretty accurate. So I don't really care.
Okay. Would you look at that? There's a real game tonight. How about it? Hell of a game in Utah and USC. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for this one. I'm going to shit nuke Utah, and I don't care who knows it. I'm not scared to say it. I'm going to bet them for probably $1,000, maybe $500.
Oh.
You guys talk me out of it. I just don't know how I don't play this team in this spot. I don't know how I don't do it. Talk me out of it. Talk to me about it. What do you guys think?
I would be a lot more inclined to play Utah had the first game not happened.
Oh,
totally agree.
Like I also do want to play them, but again, that's a wholeheartedly biased want from me there. So it's I gotta stay out of this one. I want them to lose. I'd love for them to lose. Make our lives easier.
Dudes. But I know I understand they've played already this season and Utah, won, right, in that crazy emotional game, honoring the players who passed. I understand. And it's really fucking hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah.
Especially with 2 competitive close teams like this. Doesn't happen often. It happens less. But I don't even care. If you bet spots like Utah plus 2.5 in this game, every time you will be up money in the long run. So I'm going to play it. This line is short, and I want in. I'm taking them. DeGen, thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, I got plenty of thoughts, but I don't have any bets currently. I agree with you. There's a really contrarian play on the side in the total, and that's Utah, and it's the under. I think I'll actually play the under. Somebody told me in my stream that USC to score 40 plus points is boosted, which I always like. I agree with Jovan. I think my same thoughts. If USC had beaten Utah the first game, I would be all over Utah. It is a public and sharp side. USC 1.5 to 2.5. They're getting the bets. They're getting the money. And that scares me. That's the only reason I wouldn't nuke it. I would play it, but people like USC in this game, smart people like USC in this game, the line moved accordingly. The money's there. You're a full-on contrarian. You're on the side of the house, which I am totally okay co-signing. I would just be concerned nuking it. The one thing that I do love, and I've said this plenty of times, but as I get older, I value head coaches more and more. And I really like Kyle Whittingham. So I like Kyle Whittingham in a contrarian spot as a dog. It's just, I don't know, man. Like Cameron Rising is not the Cameron Rising of last year. There are some questions there. So I don't want to fade Caleb Williams, but if you are going to fade Caleb Williams, what better time to do it than when he odds wise became the lock to win the Heisman? So yeah, look, I guess I'm talking you into it more than I'm trying to talk you out of it. I would just be scared to nuke it. I'd probably just go a unit, maybe 2 tops. And like I said, I'll probably play the under, which always means I lean the dog more, even though it's not that many points. And please take the points, because if this last matchup taught you anything, like it could be a wild ending, especially if the game goes under. Take the 2.5.
I'm taking them.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I'm taking them and I'm running. I mean, also, like, are we not going to talk about how 81% of bets, 91% of handle is on USC money line, 82% of bets, 83% of handle on USC spread? Hasn't moved a speck.
Well, it moved a point. It was a 1.5 to 2.5.
I didn't see any 1.5 openers, but that might be on me. I saw a couple twos. Let me check my resources.
Well, keep in mind too, if anything, this always should make you like a dog even more, in my opinion. They don't want to give Utah that key number. You know what I mean? It's one thing if it's not budging from 3.5 to 4. 3.5 is a little bit of a bait number for a dog. 2.5 though is a really big deal.
Nobody's begging, nobody's dying to take 2.5. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Plus 2.5. Plus 2.5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am seeing some 3s though around the board now. I am seeing some 3s. A couple places. But places like Pinnacle, places like Circa, they're still laying 2.5.
Okay.
And the plus 2.5 is a little more juiced than the minus 2.5. So I'm shocked to see some 3s lying around. I might grab one. Well, I still can, to be honest with you. But that is a little concerning that they bumped it up to 3. That makes me not like it as much. If that's where it stays at for the next couple hours, I will not be shit nuking this, and I'll be playing it for 1 unit. Okay? Does that make you guys happier? Is that good?
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But, you guys aren't nuking it, but you do think Utah covers this game.
I do. I think if I were to play something, I would rather play that under, just because I've seen a lot of those boosts too. I think it's going to be like I don't want to say they're going to have to like play super slow, because they can play their own game and still put up points quickly against the USC defense. But I think it's going to have to be a ball control game at the end of the day. You can't replicate trying to go in a shootout and just outscore USC again. So I think that's going to be kind of their approach. And if they go and get blown out, they're not going to score much. So,
okay. Our guy One Deep in chat is saying Utah tonight is the Patriots.
Well, I disagree with that because, look, I played the Patriots hand up, but I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew that this was the prime fake sharp spot because it was bad news. Everybody started hearing about the Bills having the flu, and that's just, sharps are always looking for an angle, and that's the angle, and that's the, inside information or whatever. So we knew what we were getting ourselves into. I don't really think there's bad news or any kind of news, really. So I think it's
our guy Luke Slocks is saying that Utah's running back isn't playing.
Oh, Tavion Thompson's out? Or Tavion Thomas? Interesting.
Do some digging.
Utah is fake sharp big time. You are falling into the trap. Remember, if the line is moving against the team, they are not sharp. The Patriots were sharp because they were 5.5 to 3.5. So they were fake sharp because it was so obvious why money was hitting that side. And at the end of the day, the data was still there. You always take it with a grain of salt, but people were still betting the Bills. So that's why I was okay playing the Patriots. But it was not a nuke situation.
Yeah,
not a nuke situation.
It's not a short bet. It's because you're taking the dog. It's relax.
Correct.
Just because you're taking the underdog doesn't mean it's sharp. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. I'm trying to see if this kid's playing or not. Let's see.
Pickswise said the news was 6 days ago.
Okay. Okay. I'll keep looking, but let's keep moving on. Any NBA bets you guys like tonight?
Oh, geez. I haven't even looked.
Well, no worries. We can move on and we can hop to the ice. We can hop to college basketball.
Sure.
I mean, we're pressed for time always on Friday, so if we haven't dove into the board, no reason to try to pick it up now. Okay. Have you looked at the ice?
You can go to college basketball unless Jen's got something on the ice these couple games.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think the Blue Jackets line is looking at me funny. I don't know if you saw that. Jets were 230 down to 210, heavy betting. But somebody did mention that I think there is some good news coming towards the Blue Jackets. They're getting Liney back. I think it's Lane or Liney.
Yeah,
Liney. Yeah. So I don't necessarily want to buy good news, but the Jackets have lost 3 in a row. 2 to pretty good teams. I think they lost to the Knights in a shootout. Somebody else by 1 goal. But the Jets are coming off a 5-0 shutout against the Avs. So I feel like it makes sense, a pretty obvious spot for people to want to take the Jets here, -1.5. I'll probably be on the Jackets +1.5.
Jovan, any thoughts on that?
I mean, you see the price. It's not I like where it's at, but it's also like the good news with Line A, which is fairly significant, but it's also been something that I think is planned for like a week or just under a week. Like we knew he was going to come back at this point in time. So I'm okay with buying it because it's not something that was completely unexpected. And like that is going to move the line kind of midday or in the last couple hours. So
Cool.
I'm cool with buying it there, and I'll join you in that +1.5.
Cool. And I'm going to the Rangers tonight, so I am going to play Igor to have a shutout, but Igor looks fucking terrible this season.
I think the Rangers roll.
No. I think so too. I'll be playing the puck line as well, and give me Igor shutout.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We did have some plays on ice. Let's go.
Yeah. Short board, couple plays.
Yeah.
Sure. And I did a little bit of digging. It didn't take too long, but Tavion Thomas, he declared for the draft. He said, "Fuck this team. I'm out of here."
Wow.
Wow.
That's sketchy.
I don't want to say it's better for them, but there's been some rumblings of there's definitely, I mean, especially with him declaring for the draft and just saying goodbye, like there's something going on with him and that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some behind the scenes type stuff. So
yeah, well, that definitely could be true for sure. Or this team's packing up shop, getting ready for next season, which scares the living shit out of me. But you're telling me their star running back is out for this game and they're still +2.5 against one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team and hottest quarterback in football right now?
Sure.
Well, he hasn't been playing like too well.
He's been splitting with Micah Bernard too. So Mike is going to be a guy.
Like he was playing pretty well early in the year, and then he wasn't getting touches, and now he's the one who hasn't really cared. So like I'm not worried about like the team packing up shop, especially because Cam Rising's been playing through an injury for a couple weeks now. So if he wouldn't be gutting this out if that team didn't care to compete and win. So I'm for that.
Can I just tell you though, Krabs, the last thing I'll say about this game in USC,
please.
They're giving me, Javon's gonna want to throw up when I say this, but they're giving me a little bit of TCU vibes in the sense that they've got something to prove. Where TCU keeps getting disrespected every week, they come out and they just keep winning, and they're winning in like incredible fashion. I know everybody says, "Oh, they play backup quarterbacks." To me, fuck that. But USC, it's Caleb Williams' first year, it's Lincoln Riley's first year, and they're still in the Pac-12. So I don't know. They're just a team, and I saw sharp money hitting Notre Dame. I saw people taking Notre Dame. I made a video. I said, "Don't do it," and they still came out. Notre Dame's defense. They can play a little tight. Caleb Williams looked incredible. He put up 38 points, but I don't know, man. It's just a team I don't want to fade. Like I said, if anything, though, maybe they shoot themselves in the foot in this game, and if they do, I like the under, and that would obviously make lean into Utah, hopefully keeping it close.
Yeah, I will say about the whole like fading Caleb Williams after he pretty much got the Heisman locked in. the fact that those odds are so high certainly give me worry of taking or fading USC.
That is a good
Great.
point. And I was going to bring that up too. Shit.
Great point.
Yeah, because
So
I mean,
him being that
theoretically-
fat tells me he's probably going to win this game, right? Or at least that would
They
make
don't
sense.
expect a slip up. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and like I think the respect's not necessarily there for some of the guys below him, like our quarterback, which don't even get me started on that conversation. But it's a large price, especially considering that they're going to be. This is the biggest game of his career, biggest game of the season, obviously, and it's a playoff play-in game essentially for them. So the fact that he is that high of a price in a game that is this much in the balance, I don't want to fade him. I'm done. I'm not doing that.
I agree.
That
I
is
totally agree with that.
extremely fair. I will do it for you. And I'm going to do it responsibly for a unit now because now I'm scared. Okay? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No, thank you.
All right. You guys want to go to CBB? There's
Yeah,
a couple good games today.
Sure.
A couple good games today.
A handful. This kind of sucked, though.
Most suck, but there's two decent games. Why don't we talk about those first? Why don't we go to Gonzaga Baylor?
Yeah.
Have you guys taken a peep at this game yet? I kind of lean the under. I like the way it's moving. But I don't love this game, and I don't even know if I'm going to play that. Did you think it was weird? So this game's neutral site. Gonzaga, I mean, both these teams have sucked, or at least up to expectations, both these teams have sucked, right? I don't know if Gonzaga is good. I know Baylor has a bunch of really good players and talent, but I don't know if that team is good. I don't even know if Gonzaga has the guys. So I don't know what the fuck to do or think about a side in this game. I thought at first it was a little weird that Gonzaga, was the favorite here with them being ranked 14, Baylor being ranked 6, and them being the favorite on neutral site. That automatically, piques my interest, but it's Gonzaga, So that's also kind of keeping me off a side here. I like the under. It's come down a couple points here. I think you think of these two teams, and the first thing you think of is offense right away. But I like the way this total's moved down, to be honest with you. And I think in a game on TV, prime time, on Peacock, neutral site, weird place, weird arena, Sanford Sports Pentagon in South Dakota. You guys know what the fuck that is or who even plays there? I don't. You think these teams are going to be having a comfortable environment? And I don't even know who even plays there. Somebody in chat, let me know. But this game's weird. I think this game goes under. I like the way it's moving. I think both these teams stink. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is. I like the under too. That would be my play in this game because I think it's weird. It's a little weird because, when you look at a total of 160, right, you're pretty dependent on a lot of pace and a lot of shot making very consistently, which for a team like Baylor with certainly they're going to get points from Flagler and Cryer at some point because nobody else really can score consistently. But when you only have a couple guys on the perimeter who can do that against it's a bad Zags perimeter defense, but the total is moving down. So, there's bad perimeter defenses on both sides. That's telling you something. So I think this game, I don't want to say it's going to be like that game that was on the aircraft carrier because that was very weather affected, like no other game. But I think it's going to be more of a game with that kind of tempo early on, that kind of pace. They're going to struggle making shots coming out of the gate. So that's kind of why I lean to the under.
Who signed off on that? Who said, yeah, we're going to play an outdoor game on a ship where it's really windy? Who signed off on that?
I don't know.
It's got to be a better way.
It'd be cool, but I don't know why they're I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if you can just move it or play it somewhere else where somebody else has one, but I feel like the San Diego coastline is a pretty terrible idea.
Yeah, and I'm all for doing the military shit. I love that stuff, but you're gonna put these kids to play in an out what? This is not recess. This is fucking college basketball. Ranked teams. What the fuck are we doing? Get these guys inside somewhere. The hell. Yeah. But I'm with you. I think it's a weird environment. I like the under. Weird to see it moving down, right? I feel like the square angle here would be take the over with these offenses and shit defenses. Then why is it moving down?
The only pushback I have on that is that's got to be the highest total I think I've seen all season, right? 165 at the opener.
Yeah, it's up there, but it's there's 80, 90 points in pretty much every game both of these teams play. So theoretically, it makes perfect sense on. So like I think I
Gotcha.
don't think it's like at such a number that this is like, whoa, this is an insane number that we've never seen, and it's this high for a reason. I
Right.
just think these are two of out of like the top teams, these are pretty two of the easily worst perimeter defenses, probably in the country too. Not even just looking at top teams, they're bad. It's like it makes sense.
So and their offenses combined averaging 83 and 88 points. That's around 171. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean I lean Baylor, especially after losing by 26 to Marquette. Gonzaga hasn't played since the 27th, but they only beat Xavier by 4 points. Is Xavier any good? I don't know. Makes sense to me that I look at the splits and everybody's on Gonzaga. Yeah, honestly feels like a Utah USC situation. I mean, I lean the short dog and I lean the under. I don't want to play both though. So, this game is until 8:00. Yeah, I'll think of something later.
We got some time.
Yeah,
we got some time. Another really good game. Illinois at Maryland. All my buddies are about to go to the game. They're super hyped. There's actual good buzz around this basketball program for the first time, probably since Greg Williams was coaching there, or Gary Williams. So seeing Maryland as a favorite, I was like, what the fuck against Illinois? This is nuts. But Maryland is undefeated. Maryland is a historically good basketball program. Maryland is home. People like betting on the Terps. They're trendy. They're fun. They're new, right? They've been asked the last decade. And I think people are a little tired of this Illinois team. I like Illinois in this spot. I just think Illinois is the significantly better team here. And I think they hand Maryland their first loss on their home court in College Park. When everyone starts gassing up the Terps, that's when they flop. And look, this might be the public side. I really don't even care. I think this UNLV team is way too overhyped.
It's not.
Yeah, Maryland's very public, which is
really
the surprising part. Yeah, they're getting 70% plus of the bets and money.
Yeah,
which is what kept me away from taking Maryland because
you were going to take UMD.
Not take them, but like when you look at the line just initially when you're going through stuff, you say, okay, this is a Maryland team who, I mean, they're a team again who's had some pretty short lines when you're looking at some of the ones in the past. I mean, they're 2.5 dogs to St. Louis, who's a very overrated team. It's a different conversation, but what were they? Only 13.5 against Louisville, which is, I guess, a lot of the teams kind of hang around there, but that's on the lower end. There's a couple lines. They don't get very, very high lines, and Illinois has gotten a lot of respect kind of coming out of the gate. To see them as underdogs was interesting, and then you look at the splits, and it seems to be kind of the overwhelming square identified trap. So I'm definitely leaning towards just taking Illinois.
I think Jameer Young is going to have one hell of a time scoring against Terrence Shannon Jr. One hell of a time. This kid was playing at the fucking Mount a couple years ago. And he's having a breakout season for Maryland. Great, awesome. He's fun and cool, but give me a fucking break. Give me a break. He's going to get strapped up by Terrence Shannon Jr., who, by the way, is averaging close to 20 points a game and having a crazy good start to the season.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy good start.
He's him.
Yeah. Has Maryland played anybody?
No.
Okay. No. Yeah. I think I love
Louisville.
Yeah. Well, I think actually Jovan made a great point about where I think it's always something to consider. Where does Vegas value teams? And you take it back to like the Bills. I noticed this when they were losing last season to the Jags and the Colts got blown out by the Colts. The odds didn't really just jump. They didn't plummet because they knew they're a threat and they're a liability. So you always look at that. Identified it with the Devils early on this season. Now, I think you made a great point with Maryland only minus 12.5 against a terrible Louisville team. Despite them covering easily, it's still where did Vegas set the line? I'm looking at their opponents. They didn't play fucking anybody. And Illinois had a few tests at least. So, yeah, they're public. Lines moving Illinois 2 to 1.5 is what I'm seeing. I love it. I love Illinois.
Same. Maryland did have a really good win against St. Louis. I'll give them that. Okay. At St. Louis, they spanked them.
Gotcha.
They spanked them. I'll give them that.
They are. Not that impressed with that, though, to be real with you.
Damn, you don't like the Billikens, huh?
No, I do not think they're that good. I mean, they've played close with a couple decent teams, I guess, but like they haven't really played anybody either. I mean, they snuck by the Providence team, who's not very good. I mean, I give them credit for keeping close with Auburn. But like otherwise, there's just not really much that's yelled at me and said like they're elite.
Mm-hmm. Any other college basketball games you guys wanted to talk about? If you had any thoughts you had any plays. I know we got to build these weekend cheat sheets, but I wanted to go over, any other games you guys liked today.
Yeah, I'm fading USF today.
Yes,
that's
one of the ones I wanted to take. Give me the sharp shooting Charleston Southern bucket getters. These kids are nasty, dudes. They played VT and almost beat us the other day. And look, that's making DeGen not want to take this one bit. He's smiling. He's about to go lock in USF for 100 units. But it's fucking Charleston Southern. Give me a break. Against USF, who at least is a real school people have heard of. This team blows. Whoever is the AD at this school should be fired yesterday because all their teams blow. It's a joke. It's a joke. And look, Charleston Southern, like I said, they covered a bunch of games in a row. They almost beat VT outright. But, DeGen, you'll like this better. They were a favorite against Citadel the other night, -3, and they lost outright. So bounce back game here for Charleston Southern. USF just blows. Give me the 10 points. Give me the 11 points and hold on for dear life. I love this play.
Yeah. And the thing is with USF, it seems like kind of a high line because it's one of the higher that they've had. But like in some of these spots against this team, they're just bad. They just continually, like not even just this year, but like year in, year out, they get these high lines for absolutely no reason. And like I don't know if you were on it with me, but like beginning of the season, we had SEMO come in as 11.5 point dogs. They won outright in USF. Stetson, where I think you were on USF because it looks like such a high line coming off of Stetson's FSU win. They also won outright. It's just a thing with them where they just get respect for no reason and they play pretty slow. So it's like it's a lot of points for them no matter what, no matter who they're going against. So it is kind of a more simple bet, but I'll fade them until it continues.
Love it. DeGen, you do any deep dives into this Charleston Southern team and some of their analytics today? You look at them?
I don't know if I can name one college basketball player across the entire landscape of the sport. Yeah, it's no, but I love betting on it. But I like to wait for a few games to pass. But a few games have passed, so I get going. And then once the conference tournaments comes around, I get a little more into it. Krabs, I know you made the tweet about give me college basketball over the World Cup. Look, both of them have plenty of things to gripe about. I hate flopping. College basketball for me, it's fouls. It's so hard. And I was watching that Oklahoma State game the first half before I was going to dinner, and I was like, this is why I can't watch college basketball. At least not until it's so bad, especially when it's going against you. But I'll still gamble.
Got hooked. They got hooked too. People forget. Or they lost by 10. I got plus 9.5. They lost by 10.
Yeah. I got 8.5. Yeah, 10.5 down to 8.5, back to 9.5. You love when a point goes against you right before fucking tip off. I was watching that line. I was like, well, I'm done. But no, let's focus on this. So no, I'm not against that one bit. Charleston Southern's fine with me. I'm just looking at a couple other plays that I wanted to bring to your attention. What do you think about this Wake Forest Clemson line? Because I initially, I lean Clemson. Especially because they're 3-5 ATS going against Wake Forest, who's 7-1, 5-3 ATS as the 3-point favorite. I guess according to covers, Clemson looks like they're a little public, which concerned me. But then I look at VSiN, looks like they're a little bit more split. So I guess it really comes down to the number. I hope it doesn't really move towards Wake Forest. I lean Clemson on the money line. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this matchup. Seems kind of intriguing.
So our guy Joe Lenardi, college basketball fucking wizard, he has Wake Forest as his ACC sleeper. Now they're 7-1, so I don't even know if you could really say that. But they lost their two best players last year, right? Mm-hmm. I was so down on them this season. I was ready to fade them left and right. I've started to tail them. I've been impressed. I've been impressed with their coach, and I've been extremely impressed with Tyree Appleby. This kid's fucking dropping 20 points a game. He looks like fucking John Moran out there. He's a bucket. He's an absolute bucket. But are they trendy? I know he's trendy. Everyone's talking about this kid saying he might win fucking ACC Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah. Fade
trendy.
Fade him today.
He's trendy. I kind of want to take PJ Hall and boring Clemson, who barely just squeaked out a win against Penn State in overtime that we were all on.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you guys watched that game. Clemson tried to lose that game on purpose is what it looked like.
That's why I didn't watch
sprinting
that
to go
game.
bet on Clemson. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. Clemson's not fun. They're not trendy. They're not, they don't have any crazy good players. They have boring, 7th year PJ Hall who holds it down. And that's about it, man. And I don't think anybody wants to bet on this Clemson team. What are you guys seeing on the splits, though? Are you seeing money on Clemson?
No, I mean, the splits are definitely the sharp side here is Wake, which is a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's kind of a tough spot because I don't want to buy too much into their, latest performance against either. I guess either of those teams. Either of those teams put up a lot of points. They look really good, especially from the perimeter. So it's a tough spot. I don't know if it's one where I particularly want to get involved because it seems like a lot of conflicting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the one thing that I guess can stand out is the under. Because, I mean, it's starting to come down a little bit after we saw, I know it was an overtime game, but Clemson putting up 100-plus points and against Penn State. Their offense has been decent outside of like that one ugly Cal game. I mean, they're putting up 70 points. Wake couldn't miss a shot from the perimeter, especially Appleby, who actually, like literally 2 minutes ago, I just looked, received a couple bumps down on a lot of his props, except his threes. Threes got bumped up. Everything else got bumped down.
Wow.
Which is strange. So all of those things considered, that total moving down is interesting.
I do have a play. I did some deep diving while you guys were chatting.
Sure.
It's going to be Appalachian State for me, boys.
I like App State.
All right, good. So Charlotte, I think wasn't that one of your plays where they won an OT?
Yeah, Mia Khalifa step prop came through.
That's right. That's what it was. I tailed that. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, tweeting about Mia Khalifa, but I figured there was something there to it.
Maybe don't Google that. Maybe don't Google Mia Khalifa step
So her brother plays for Charlotte?
Not her actual brother.
Got it.
Not her actual. Well, it could be. Not confirmed.
Hey, who knows?
Not confirmed.
Who knows?
I got to Google this now.
Probably not.
But anyways, big win. Big win against Davidson. Great call. Now they're 7-point favorites against Appalachian State, who just lost to mighty Furman. So I love that they opened 7. They're down to 6.5. Everybody looks like they're betting Charlotte, and the totals moved down 2.5 points. So yeah, give me Appalachian State here.
Yeah, Jovan, thoughts?
All for it. 100%.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring this game up. I was gonna hope to see if one of you guys did, but it's on my lean sheets. And I'm really happy you did. I know our guy Rep. I don't know if this is his POD or not, but I know he's definitely on it. This is a good
swagger jack him.
No, this is a good bet. This is a good bet. I mean, we all bet the same and think the same, dude. We're gonna be on the same fucking plays, almost.
Yeah. Sure, guys.
I was really hoping this over wouldn't be as public as it is and moving down, because that would have been so gross, and I would have wanted to take
the over would have been gross.
Yeah, the over would have been gross because these teams, I mean, especially Charlotte, I mean, looking at a lot of their games, they don't score. They're like one of the slowest paces in college basketball. So I mean, there's a reason it's so slow, but it's going down. So I'll gladly take the points with App State. And
how about this? Donovan Gregory, App State's by far best player, the senior. You know where he's from? Charlotte, North Carolina. Love that. He's going to have everyone in town. Big game for him. I want the ball in his hands because no one else can fucking score on that team. He needs to take over.
And you know
Love this bet.
You know what my least favorite band is?
Who? Good Charlotte? Really? You don't like them?
I don't like them. No, I don't like them.
They're very angry. Very angry.
They got like one catchy song, but I couldn't fucking stand them in high school.
They're Maryland guys though, so I gotta.
Okay. Sorry.
I gotta support. Yep.
Sorry.
But they do have very angry, sad, mad music. Yeah, I prefer not to listen to that. I prefer the Metro Boomin album that just came out. The Jen, you probably don't even know who that is, but that's okay.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've seen it.
Don't even worry about it, man.
All right, cool.
Don't even worry about it. But yeah, App State is up there for one of my favorite plays today.
Good.
In college basketball. One more, and then we can move on to the weekends. I think Auburn rolls today, and I'm never up here saying take a fucking favorite.
Okay.
Laying more than double digits against, a trendy mid-major. They're laying 13.5. They opened up, around 12, 12.5, 13. Auburn, they're undefeated, right? But they haven't looked their best. right? They're not covering that much. They're pulling out squeaker wins. And then you got Colgate, who owns their conference, this Colgate team who, has been in the tournament a good amount in years past. We know, they run their conference. I think this Colgate team is fraudulent. They lost a lot of their best players last season who graduated. I've not been impressed with this Colgate team really at all. And I want to fade them. And for once, take a ranked team who's undefeated and lay the double digits. Might be a public play. I don't give a shit. Auburn wins this game by 20 at home.
I've got thoughts. Jovan, do you want to go first?
I mean, my thoughts are pretty similar. I would be worried just a little bit, just because we look at I don't know how to value this Colgate team because it doesn't seem like Vegas is doing it too much, but this is an Auburn team who they haven't been covering very much against these inferior opponents that have been coming into Auburn. They haven't been scoring either, which for a team laying 14 is definitely something significant. I mean, they put up, 65 against SLU, that disgusting game that shouldn't even exist with that 43-42 Northwestern game. I mean, they didn't cover against Texas Southern when they came in. Barely covered against Bradley and Auburn, and that game against USF too didn't cover. I thought USF was going to scratch out a win for some time. So I haven't been too impressed by this Auburn team, to be honest. So it's definitely an interesting one, and I lean Auburn.
Like Auburn's coming off of, like you said, squeaking out that win in one of the shittiest games I've ever watched. And the game before that was even worse against Northwestern, where they didn't even score 90 points combined. Are you fucking kidding me? And you look at Colgate's last game, they just put up a 92 piece and covered a -22 with ease. So they're coming in, looking better. Auburn, is 7-0, but nobody's sprinting to bet on Auburn right now. I promise you that. Although they are public today. But, in the Square's minds, Auburn is not at the top of their list, in my opinion, because they haven't been winning in blowouts. And like Jovan said, these shit teams come in and these games are close. Yeah. I think they roll today. Did you have thoughts?
Yeah, so it's funny because I see like 5 people asking about Merrimack, and it kind of this correlates to Merrimack today, how I feel about them. But it's okay to take a public team if the line is moving in your favor, because the people with money moving the markets like the edge there too. Nobody's buying on Colgate today, and I fell in love with Colgate last year, so I look for any way, shape, or form to take Colgate. But I agree with you in this one. And there was a line. Maybe you remember this. It was a couple days ago, I think, where it was Monmouth. Like nobody wanted Monmouth. Mm-hmm. And they were the team they were playing against. I don't know. They had a line move. Like literally, it was like 1% of the handle was on Monmouth. And it didn't even come close. And then last night I went to it with like Houston Baptist or Houston Christian. Did you guys see that play by chance? That was disgusting. And then there was Green Bay and Milwaukee. Nobody wanted Green Bay. Well, Milwaukee covered. So I call these the Monmouth games. And that's what Merrimack has given me the vibes of too. So I'm not touching Merrimack. If you're going to take the favorite that's public, take it with the line move. They have been covering in college. The super nasty, gross contrarian plays where like no handle is on are not covering right now, at least in college basketball, in my opinion. So that's a long-winded way of saying, yes, I am with you on Auburn today as well. I like it. And to also address what people are saying in the chat, I would not play Merrimack in this spot.
Yeah, so here's the deal with Merrimack, okay? I had a source who told me that this kid was out. Remember we had Merrimack as a squad ride like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they lost because their best player, their only good player, was ruled out and nobody knew until we already decided to be the squad rides. Kid ended up not playing. He's been out ever since. Well, I got a message from my same source who was right the first time saying he's back today again. And I can't find anywhere on the interwebs that he's going to be back today, anywhere besides from me. So, I talked with Jovan about this briefly. Looking at this line, I wish Boston was playing better of late. They're kind of playing like shit too, and I hate the line move. It opened up really short. Jovan, you kind of think that the books are hip and that they know that Jordan Minor's going to be back. They probably do. The books are way smarter than us, and they know almost everything before we all do. So they probably do know. But what are you thinking, man?
I mean, I don't want any part of it because, I mean, if they know and this line is moving towards Boston, I think it should be because this team is god-awful. Like, I don't ever want to watch a Merrimack game again, but they're just so bad. And if the Minor news is in their head and it's in the data and it's in whatever and this line is moving towards Boston, I'm not going to take Boston because they're super public as they should be, but keep me away from Merrimack. I'm so good.
So Boston is getting shit hammered on the books.
Yeah,
there are no tweets anywhere. There's nothing anywhere besides me releasing my info from my source. I love saying that. It sounds so cool. I sound so smart for my source. But
right now,
Krabs Rappaport,
Crab bomb. But I mean, no one is talking about it at all anywhere. And maybe the books don't know. You know, they don't have their A team on the Merrimack game. You know, they got their C team on that. Doesn't mean they don't know. They definitely could. But I can't find anywhere that this kid's playing. And maybe the Boston line's moving because everyone's betting on them and they just have to adjust so they're not overexposed. I wish it didn't move. I'll be honest with you. I probably am not going to play it, which really sucks because I want to play it. But I just don't know if they know. So it's not worth it for me. But if the line didn't move, let's say it stayed at 3.5, I'd be all over it. But I'm with you, Jovan. It might be too much, man.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's starting to. Yeah, I know it got to like 5.5 at a point. It's starting to come back. Honestly, if it comes back, if it comes back and that minor news is very public or it starts to come out or whatever, I might just have to slip Boston.
Oh my God.
1,000%. I was as you were talking, Krabs, I was saying the exact same thing. If that news catches wind and then there's buyback on Merrimack, that is the definition of fake sharp. It's money hitting a team for a justified reason, and you're chasing that steam and you get duped. I would, especially with people saying and you saying Boston's been playing bad, I would probably take Boston.
Yeah, Boston's last 3 games. Their last game, they lost by 11 to Cal Davis when they were +5, didn't cover. The game before that, they were -4 to Milwaukee, and they lost by 20. The game before, and they put up 46 points. The game before that, they were -5 to SEMO. I think Jovan already brought that up. They were -5 to SEMO. Jen, I'll give you $100 if you tell me what school that is.
Southeastern Missouri.
They lost by 11. Is that right? Is it Southeastern Missouri? Fuck.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go double or nothing on that later.
Played high school football with a kid who went to college there, so that's the only reason I know.
All right. Well, you haven't said it.
Humble brag. Pay up, bitch.
You have a source too. Damn it. But yeah, more of the story. They fucking blow, right? And Merrimack blows too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that team's fucking atrocious. Damn, they're asking who's on my shirt. It's my guy.
State. That's right.
Grandpa Seeley, bro. Gotta support the boy. It's his NIL shirt. Boom.
Filthy shirt.
Oh, don't worry about it, man.
You want to win your 100 back? You want to win your 100 back? See if I can name a team that Grant Basile is on.
Well, I just told you he's on my team, so fuck.
Oh, Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. You probably would have guessed that, Joe.
No.
Yeah. Gotta support the boys.
Yes.
You know, it's his NIL thing. It's the only fucking shirt he had. I was like, you got anything else? He's like, no. I was like, all right, I guess I'll rock your fucking face holding the ball on my shirt.
That's kind of awesome.
Got to rep. He's a beast. All right. Well, I guess we'll stay off Merrimack for now. Jovan might even sneak nuke fucking Boston. You better tell me this time if you're sneak fade.
Nuke.
Sometimes you sneak fade and
don't
tell me.
No nuke.
I meant to say sneak fade. I meant to say sneak fade, not sneak nuke.
Oh,
well, you're not betting Merrimack, so it's not a sneak fade.
Well, you tell me if you're betting them though, because sometimes you just sneak fade, and I don't like it.
I don't fade. I mean, I'll tell you when I'm fading you, which is tomorrow. I'll openly fade you tomorrow.
We're going to start talking about this now.
No,
sure?
In a second we can get into it. There's one more play that I want to kind of hold my nose and take in college basketball, and I want to take UTA going into LSU. This feels like almost a carbon copy, probably almost worse than that UMKC game to kick off the year, because LSU. I mean, it's not even an LSU thing. It's a UTA thing. They are so ridiculously bad. Their offense, I mean, looking at some of the performances they've put up, it's embarrassing, and that's saying a lot. I mean, they went in.
They have a game where they scored 38 points against Drexel.
Yeah, and they lost by 21. And don't even think, like the game before that, 43 against Nevada, not any better. And their offense has been pitiful, and the total for this game is moving up a little bit, which is another story. But they just haven't been good whatsoever. They're coming off of a 14-point loss, and they're 7-point dogs against East Carolina at home. And now they're getting 19 against an LSU team who obviously they have the talent advantage. But they're not impressive. And I don't like to lean into like this has happened a lot. This has not happened a lot, but teams have come into LSU this year. These teams like Wofford, they're coming off of that game. UMKC came in there. Arkansas State came in there. There's a couple games where they just come in and they keep the game close for a while because LSU is not a team that they don't have the guns to kind of build the big lead and keep it consistently. So UTA is a team that year in and year out, they're not scared to go in. They play Oklahoma State like every year and go in there and keep it close with them a lot of the time. So they don't have the guns this year, but I'm a little shocked to see this under 20. So I want to lean into that. I think they keep it close. I think it's a gross game. Maybe UTA's offense wakes up a little bit. Hopefully they put up like a 60 piece. That might be all they need.
Did you have any thoughts on UTA? I know that's one of your favorite teams you've been watching this season.
No, but I don't like LSU at all. Do they still have that slimy coach?
No, slimy coach is gone.
Yeah, I didn't like
the whole program's what?
Everyone left. So he got fired because he got caught again. What an idiot. I mean, get a fucking burner phone, you fucking idiot. What a dumbass.
You can judge so many books by their cover. That guy, and who was the really sweaty guy at Arizona? Anyway, we don't have to get into this, but I couldn't trust that guy at all. So I don't like LSU. I don't need to read. Like, you don't have to sell me into fading LSU. I'm in. Give it to me.
Talk about Sean Miller, by the way, the big sweat ball who got caught also being a sketch ball, and now he coaches at Xavier.
Is that where he coaches? Oh my god!
He went back to Xavier because that's where he coached originally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny when people hype up like really good college coaches. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's whoever's the best at cheating without getting caught. If you don't got the players, if you don't got the players, everybody cheats. Give me a break. But I'm good.
Don't get caught.
You're talking about somebody just nuking.
We got to address it. it. So I'm looking, and if you look on Visson, if you look on Visson, there's a significant move.
Somebody in this chat. Somebody in this fucking chat.
They update the splits every 10 minutes on here, and if there's a significant move, they put those little green up arrows or down or red down arrows, right? And I've been watching this, and I literally looked 10 minutes ago when we started to talk about it, and Mary Mac had like 20% of bets and like less than 30% of the handle. Now they've got 20% of bets and 40% of handle with the two green arrows going up. So somebody just absolutely shit hammered Mary Mac, thinking they know something before the books. They could be right. Hey, maybe the books don't fucking know, and then that guy wins big. But I don't know if I'm willing to risk betting on Mary Mac. And I'm not willing to put my money on a bet because I think I'm smarter than the books. I know I'm not smarter than the books. I know they have way more resources. You know what I mean?
That's the funny part. I think people, like, whenever we talk about like fading the public or betting off of lines, people think that we're just doing it because we think we're smarter than everyone else. When in reality, like, it's because the books know more than we do. So like when you look at a game that's like this line seems super short, aka Arizona, Utah, you're like, oh my God, they should win by 50. They're so much better than them. But in reality, the books know a little bit more than we do. They have better predictive data than we do. So we're kind of giving it up, saying they know more than we do, so we're going to lean into the better data.
Yeah, let's not try to be smart and guess when the books know who's playing and who's not. Let's just bet on fucking sketchy lines that the books hand us, like Utah last night, and just go about our day with our fucking bags, right?
Yeah. Somebody just
I'm so with you on that.
Dude, look at the update on Charleston Southern's handle. They are also getting nuked.
Dude. I'm telling you right now, it's people watching the show. Hitting DraftKings.
No, it's not.
You don't think we got whales in chat, bro? You don't think we got whales in chat?
We have some whales in chat, but you're telling me.
Listen.
Well, those are also like two games with probably like a combined $2.
There's like 6 bets on those games combined. Dude.
Exactly. So that's my whole point. They're low bet games anyway. Nobody's going to move a market on Gonzaga and Baylor, but on these games, all it takes is a $1,500 bet.
That is true.
To make a change. But like we said, be careful. This is, in my opinion, Merrimack's, and we should probably stop talking about Merrimack and go to football. But you should be careful. This is the textbook definition of fake sharp. So just be careful.
Sure. All right. Yeah, everyone in chat saying they put 100K on these bets. Good one, guys. Good joke. All right. Was there one more game I wanted to bring up really quick? There is. And then we got to power through. Okay, guys? But there is one more college basketball game. Northeastern How many times am I going to bet on this shit team? One more.
Ugh.
One more. I want to take Northeastern plus 11 against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech sucks. Northeastern sucks. Northeastern is 1-5. Georgia Tech, we know, sucks, but they're an ACC school with the winning records, and everyone's betting on them because they're playing a school people haven't fucking heard of. Georgia Tech is bad, okay? I like their coach, but I don't like their team. I really don't. And it's not like Northeastern is red hot or anything. I mean, they've lost their last 4 or 5, but they've been playing a little bit better recently. They beat Manhattan 2 games ago, and in their last game, they almost beat Princeton outright as a plus 8.5 dog. So they're on the up and up. I know this team has the guys. This is the team that got away from me last season that I was so high on, and all their guys got hurt, and they kept fucking losing. Well, these guys are back, and they got to get it going. I'm telling you. Northeastern is a decent team, and they're going to keep this game within 10 points. I want to take them. Nobody's betting on them. I know the line's moved about a point towards Georgia Tech. That's probably because 90% of bets and handle are on them. I'm not scared by that 1-point move. Give me Northeastern on the road.
Yeah, you can have
Thoughts?
you can have that one. you can have that one.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not fading it, but
All right.
it's interesting. I don't know. Looking at some of the lines, because I mean, I don't know shit about Northeastern. Like, seems like a decently fair line for like looking at the teams that Georgia Tech has played. I know they're a lot better than ACC teams, so it's not one that's screaming at me, but I'm certainly not taking Georgia Tech.
Okay. All right. Well, Northeastern fucking blows, man. But they do have this Telfort kid who's actually kind of decent. He drops like 15 points a game. They got a pretty good guard. I mean, Georgia Tech has no one. That team's brutal, and it's been a down year for the ACC, and they're definitely a part of it. So I want to take them. This isn't even like a weird line bet for me. This is just betting on a shit team to stay within 10 points against another shit team that's public, in my opinion. Maybe I'm forcing it. Maybe I'm trying to get my coins back on Northeastern. That definitely could be it.
The latter.
That definitely could be it. Yeah, that definitely could be it. All right, let's go to Saturday. You guys ready? Some college football games? Why not
I'm
us?
ready.
Why not us? Yeah, go ahead and give me Kansas State.
Boo.
What do you mean, boo?
Listen. You like. I feel like you do this, and I'm happy you do. You say, I'm going to bet it for you. I am glad you're going to bet Kansas State, but you're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm going to fade this Frog team once.
You mean this fraud team? You mean
fraud?
fraud?
I can't even listen to you say that. How can you say they're a fraud team, especially with our guy Jovan here? I get it. They played a couple backup quarterbacks. So what? At the end of the day, you know who else did? I can't believe I'm going to fucking say this. I can't believe it. So did the Jets. And what did the Jets do? They actually proved to you that overall they are a good team. I think this TCU team is a good team. Did you see how they started the game against Iowa State? Which, by the way, I might add, money hit Iowa State too. Money hit Iowa State. Plus 10 down to 9.5. What happened? Everybody got fucking burned. Stop fading this Frog team. Stop it. It's a line freeze. Heavy betting on TCU. It's in my DNA. It's right up my alley to bet Kansas State. But what did the Orioles teach us?
To never give up.
Listen, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I just think there's something up with this team. I really do. I like Sonny Dykes. I like their quarterback. I like their team. They've had plenty of chances to prove us wrong, let us down. It ain't happening. I thought the party was over multiple times for the Frogs. It ain't over. I want to see this team go as far as possible. I'm rooting for them. I don't want to lose any units on them. But if you're going to do it, do it. Don't nuke it, please. That's all I got to say. I can't wait to hear Jovan's thoughts.
No, please nuke. Dude, you'll be in person for this one. It'll be in person for this one. That's fine. So I don't know. It's like there's so many stuff going on. So much stuff going on. This is probably the week where I've seen the most Kansas State and comments, and whether it's here, whether it's Twitter, whether it's whatever. So you know what happens when that happens. Like the whole fraud stuff and the backup quarterback stuff is so ridiculous because people don't realize. Like I go through, like, you look at these games, like people were like, oh, even in the game against like Oklahoma, they had that Davis Bevel come in for Dylan Gabriel. Sure, the score when he came in was 34-7. You look at Will Howard, who's been a starter in this conference for 2 years, and he's really better than Adrian Martinez, which is why he's still playing right now.
Yep,
he came in. That's not a big downgrade. Jalen Daniels, that's a significant downgrade to Bean, but TCU stops running quarterbacks better, so it actually hurt them. Like the whole backup quarterback narrative is so tired. So they're not fraudulent. They just get really disrespected by the books for whatever reason. I think it's going to be a close game. And I will say, too, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. It's not that secret. But they've been resting guys because they're hurt the past couple weeks, a.k.a. That's why Quentin Johnston's played like 25% of the snaps last 3 weeks. He's been banged up, but not banged up enough to just not play. I mean, Darius Davis.
If they needed to win, he'd be playing every snap.
Yeah, exactly. And Darius Davis, same thing. They've been resting him. He didn't play the whole Baylor game because he was hurt. He's ready in emergency. Kendre Miller until last week, they're resting him on snaps. I mean, they're fresh. And this is a game where the total is a lot higher. Granted, it's the first game was a weather game. It was a little cold, a little rainy, a little windy. So the total was low. Now it's higher. They're on turf. This is a TCU offense that is built for this. Absolutely built for this. And there's also something too, which now I'm probably really not supposed to say, but they figured out some signals when Will Howard began.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna get a hold of Will Howard. I'm gonna tell him.
Wait,
I'm gonna tell him.
Can I just stop you right there? Are you saw what the behind the lines Wales did to Merrimack? Get ready to see that Frogs line about the fucking skyrocket.
That shit ain't moving,
with
bro.
Jovan's secrets coming out.
Move that line back to 2.5. And DeGen, you said there's a line freeze, bro. What game are you looking at, man? This line is down to 1 on some books.
That just happened.
+1.
That must have just happened.
It must have. Yeah. So grab Kansas State while you still can.
No.
Because every other book has them at +1.5 now.
Did
+2,
you?
+1.5.
Hey, you know what I hope that means? I hope that means that Adrian Martinez has come back. And he's
got to be.
Fuck.
I'd love for that. If Adrian Martinez comes back and starts this game, you can put me down for 5 units on the Frogs.
I'll bet TCU for 3 if that happens.
Who are you, DeGen? What have you done with my contrarian friend?
Listen.
Where is he?
Did you see? You have to remember I'm older. Sometimes I'm wiser. Sometimes I'm not. You have to remember? You have to remember certain situations and plays. When TCU went for it on 4th and 1 to blow the cover of West Virginia, you have to understand this is a team that gives 0 fucks about you, about the spread, about anything. They are out there to just take names, kill betters. I took an under in a TCU game. They went over by themselves in the first half. Basically. I don't want anything to do with being on the opposite side of this Frog team. I just don't. And look at Jovan's smirk. Do you want to be on the opposite side of that smirk? I don't.
I will say, though, if USC loses tonight, I'd be a little less confident because I don't think they're going to go in. They're going to hold things back necessarily because they still have to win. You don't want to put up a chance by committee or whatever.
Fair.
But it's definitely a different situation if they come in and they have that buffer. And no, Bud, man, I don't bet with my heart. You don't know that because this is a year where TCU's been very good and been in faded spots by the public or whatever. But I don't bet on this team or recommend betting on this team unless I'm confident. I fade them more than anything in years other than this year.
Yeah,
right. It just so happens that this year they're the fucking Orioles.
I think that's very fair. Where I've even assumed that the first few weeks of the season, but I was so wrong. Jovan is not with his heart. He's got a very good read on this team, and I don't want to be on the wrong side of it.
I was really worried
the amount of
about
times we faded your teams, Jovan. I can't even count it on 20 hands.
I was really worried about this game the first time around because the line was very, very low. I mean, people forget because a lot of people think this line is very low. TCU they're 3.5 point favorites at home. Yep. So them going on a neutral field and being 1.5, 2, whatever you want to call it, it's not really that weird. So
Kansas State has only been good since.
Yeah, they've been great since. They're playing much better, and the quarterback situation is figured out at the moment. I guess the Adrian Martinez news might still be in the air, but
so I have an update. Go
ahead.
So this is from their beat reporter. I just did a little bit of digging. It It's looking like Adrian Martinez is continuing to trend in the right direction. This is from the K-State OC. If he practices well again today, there's a chance he's going to be available against TCU as Will Howard's backup or see limited action with a special package. I don't want to see that dude or his fucking special package anywhere near the goddamn field. I'll tell you that much. I want him on the fucking bench.
Yeah,
I want Will Howard in the game.
They won't tell you that, but he's been healthy for a couple weeks. They just don't want it. Like, their team's been playing so well with Will Howard, they don't want him in there. And realistically, like, they tried against Texas to put him in there, and look what happened. I don't want to say he was awful, but it's a completely different situation.
Yep. Okay. Please be Will Howard, and don't try that stupid 2-quarterback bullshit, Kansas State. That shit never works. Can you guys name to me one time in college football, or it really doesn't happen in the NFL, but you can count NFL too, I guess. Name me one time where a 2-quarterback system has ever worked for a team. I cannot think of a single time. I can't think of a single time. And I know I'm putting you guys on the spot, but I can't think of a single fucking time. I remember, because I grew up a Notre Dame fan, I know you guys did too, when they had Tommy Rees and fucking, God, what was his name? The other quarterback, not Deshaun Kaiser, but before him.
Is it Everett Golson?
Everett Golson.
Or Brandon Wimbush. It was Wimbush or Golson.
No, it was Golson. Everett Golson and Tommy Rees were like splitting fucking games and go alternating drives. It just didn't. It doesn't fucking work, dude.
They did that with Kaiser too, with Malik Zaire. Didn't work.
Oh yeah,
that was like, what was that? Bottom tier Irish year. That was one of the worst.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, I guess, counts, but I mean that dude plays like 7 different positions. So give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Heineke and Wentz, grow up. Grow up. That's been going very well, actually. I'll count that. One. All right. What else on Saturday? We got to pick up the pace here, though, gents. What else you guys like on Saturday for this lean sheet? I know there's not that many games, but you guys like anything in Michigan, Purdue? You want to take Purdue with me?
Yeah, I'm on Purdue. It's actually one of my favorite bets. I think Michigan was in a similar spot last year. Everybody thought it was going to be a letdown. They beat Iowa. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think if anything, people like this Michigan team more. They are a little public. They do have a small line move. I think it's 16 to 16.5, but I like Purdue. Purdue's won their last 3. I was actually on Purdue in their last game against Indiana. I was also on them against Illinois, where they won outright as a 7-point underdog against a pretty good Illinois team. I think that's a big win. Purdue's had an up and down year. Jeff Brom's a good coach. Aiden O'Connell, I think he just got news like in the last game that his brother died and has missed some time. I think he went back home, but they're saying he's going to play. That's obviously pretty shitty. And when something like that happens, I usually just would rather stay off. But I'm going to stick with Purdue here. I like it. And again, it's probably one of my favorite plays on Saturday.
Jovan, we don't have much time, but thumbs up, thumbs down. Any quick thoughts?
Thumbs up. I'll say this line reminds me a lot of the Notre Dame Navy line. This is what I see from this game. So will it be that close in the end? I don't know. But
like that.
It's one that I like.
Like that.
UCF Tulane. You guys got any plays in this one?
Man, I think this is the toughest game on the board. I can see an argument for either side. I wanted to go Tulane. They're a little public. They are sharp. I think it's 2.5 up to 3.5. And UCF beat them last time. 4 now. The problem with me is the recency bias. Tulane beat Cincinnati on the road, a very impressive win despite Cincinnati not having their star quarterback. So there is a little asterisk there. But UCF almost lost to USF as a 20-point favorite. UCF needed a last-second touchdown. I think that's got to concern some people. I think the Green Wave are getting pretty trendy. I don't know what side to pick here. I'd probably lean the dog with the points.
Wow. I like Tulane ML. I bet Tulane wins this game by 3.
Agreed.
Opening up at -2.5, now at -4. I bet they win this game by 3.
Totally agree. And
I don't know if I want to lay that juice though. Yeah. Jovan?
Yeah, I mean, keep me away. I think it's probably going to end up falling somewhere in the middle. So, I would go, if we're taking a pick against the spread, it would probably be UCF for me. Being that they look so bad against USF, but it's also that total moving down is really weird. I don't know if I'm willing to get on the other end of that and get on that under, but Tulane's defense has been like the story for most of the year until the last, handful of weeks. They haven't looked as good. And that first game had 69 points in it. So to see the total coming down to 57, 56 and a half some places now it's a little interesting. So, I mean, that makes me think it's going to be like a 3-point game, maybe like a 27-24.
And UCF's offense just let USF score 39 points or 38 points, and USF is terrible. So, if anything, my favorite play would be the under, and I'll actually probably be on it.
Okay. I like how it's come down a spec too. Okay. I can get behind that. The under as well. I don't know if I want to lay that juice on Tulane ML. That's going to be a TBD for me.
Yeah.
TBD for me.
Tough one.
Any other football games you guys want to talk about? I think that's probably pretty much it, though.
I can fly through two. I like Fresno State. Boise State beat Fresno by 20. Last time these teams played, both teams haven't lost a game since that meeting. I think it was in October. Boise's 4.5 down to 3.5, despite getting the majority of the bets. I like Fresno with the points, and then I will be on Georgia. I hate getting it at 17.5. I know you don't like buying points, but I'm going to buy it back to 16.5. I'd like it a lot more if LSU didn't lose outright to Texas A&M, but I do think the party's over. There was 6.5 win total on the year. Brian Kelly did the best he could. I like him as a coach, not as a person. It's a contrarian, a top team in a contrarian spot. I'll probably be playing Georgia for a unit.
Jovan, you like those picks or no?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'll be on either of those. I'm trying to limit some action here, but
Smart.
The one that I am looking at, if there's been rumblings that Grayson McCall's is possibly coming back. If that happens,
no way,
I'll be on Troy. But if not, I'll be on Coastal Carolina.
Wow, I like that a lot.
It'll be the other, whatever side of it is of that game. Troy's been way too good. I mean, they've been amazing. Their defense has been amazing. This is a Coastal team that has either been without McCall, they've either been really good or really bad. I mean, the games have been very different. So I will lay the points with them if he's not there. But if he comes back, and I assume that line's going to get smaller, give me Troy.
Love that Fresno play to Jen. Love that Fresno play.
By the way, someone said Jane Daniels is in a walking boot. If that's the case, I'm not going to play Georgia. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely
not. Okay. I like UNC. I know it's that fucking square dog number at plus 7.5.
Yeah.
I know they're public, but I like UNC.
Yeah, give me the ML.
For UNC?
ML.
Yeah. Clemson's bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I want to take UNC.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite plays of tomorrow.
Square plays cash.
They do sometimes.
Yep.
Yes. Give me UNC's. And I know we're tempo and pacing this to the max right now because we got about 15 minutes. Let's go to Sunday, unless you guys have any more plays on Saturday.
No.
Okay. All right. Favorite plays for Sunday. I'm going to cut the shit and dive right into it. The Bengals. They have to be a play responsibly. They have to be. They have to be. They have to be. The Jen, I need to talk this out with you, man. I thought this would be right up your alley.
Well, it is.
Okay.
Just because I'm not on it, it doesn't mean I would talk you off of it. Like I said, the only thing that scares me is the Bengals have been so good. It does scare me. And in this game last year, I loved the Chiefs. I don't know if you remember how this game played out. The Chiefs were kind of like a contrarian favorite, I think, and then they were winning, and the Bengals came back and won. There was like 8 plays at the goal line. There was a lot of fluky flags. I don't know, man. Mahomes scares me. The Chiefs scare me, but I'm not going to talk you off of it. I just don't know if it's a nuke.
I agree. I think I'm off it being a nuke. It's still the Bengals. It's still Joe Burrow. People still love betting on this team, and everyone remembers what they did the second half of last season. Jovan, you got thoughts on that game?
I mean, I will be probably laying the money line with the Chiefs.
Oh. Whoa!
The Bengals have been too good. They have. I think it isn't Jamar Chase slated to come back too, and everybody's going to be all over that coming off of the news of him coming back and how he's performed against them in the past. He's torched them in the past.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you, if he comes back, that's going to be the most corporate prop of the day. So I will be on the Chiefs. I don't want to get like too invested because I do have significant futures investment in the Chiefs, but
it
feels like the game too. I mean, thinking back to the game against the Bills, where it was a super short line on the road. A lot of people, I guess, fell for that trap. I don't think with this short line that they're going to fall for it again. So it seems like a pretty comparable, not like a location based, but pretty comparable situation where you got a hot team coming in against the Chiefs with how good they've been. I'll take them.
Okay. Let's just go around the horn, and I want to hear your guys' favorite plays. Jovan, get us started. What do you like best?
I mean, we'll be taking the Bucks. I'm not gonna lie. I am not scared of this move necessarily because there's a thing, the narrative of the Saints owning the Bucks. We saw it like kind of unfold in Week 1. First of all, the Saints team is just bad.
Second of all, it's a Monday night game, but continue. Yes.
Yes, it is a Monday night game, and especially in prime time, that narrative is going to be huge. I've seen 15,000 notifications already about, downgrade Brady as a fantasy quarterback. He's going to see creative schemes against the Saints that he's never seen before, struggles against, whatever it may be, especially after how bad they looked in that second half against the Browns. That nobody's going to be running to take the Bucks, and the lines come down respectfully. So I'm not really concerned. I don't think the Bucks belong laying more than a field goal to anybody, really. So I'm willing to stick with them.
Okay. All right. That is a Monday game. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we are kind of pressed for time here. We still got to do the squad ride coming up, but I like the play. I like the play. How about the Raiders being -1 against the Chargers? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest bet of the season was the Raiders for me last weekend. I bought stock in the Raiders earlier in the year. Kind of looked like an idiot when they still continued losing games, but I think their time has come.
Okay.
They've blown 3 17-point leads. Their defense is terrible. Their offense is not. They are resilient. They fought through adversity last season. I think there's just something up with this team. I think they can do it again. I hate Josh McDaniels, though. Let me just say that. Dog to fave. I do like the Raiders. Not my favorite play, but yes, it's the Raiders.
What is your favorite play?
It's going to be the Cowboys. It's going to be the Cowboys for me. It reminds me situation. Remember, I was on here. I said, don't fear the juice. Lay it against the Bears. Minus 420. Sure. Didn't even have to sweat that one. Just kidding. No, I'll be on the points with this one. I fucking hate Matt Ryan. And yes, I know I look like Jeff Saturday, but Jeff Saturday's party is over, unfortunately. I think it's kind of a square play. It's also a little sharp. Tickets are a little split. Lines moving towards the Cowboys' favor. I think 10.5 is baiting you to take the Colts. They still have Jonathan Taylor, still have Michael Pittman. People will take the points there. I think the Cowboys work them. I was on the Colts team total under in the Steelers game. And the Steelers, I'm going to have a repeat performance here. I'm going to take the Colts team total under. I don't think they score 10 points, and I think the Cowboys have their way with them.
Hey, 2 games I need to bring up.
Yeah.
The Jags.
Oh, God.
Have not.
I thought you were going to say the Niners.
Well, yeah, that's the other one.
Okay.
That's the other
Yeah.
one. I kind of assume I already put you guys down for that, right?
Yeah.
Break. But the Jags, and I don't want to botch the stat, God damn it, but they haven't won a game against a team in this division in like 5 years or some shit like that. They're like 0-11 against this division in their last couple games, and now they're +1 on the road to a Lions team that's covered 4 in a row. They seem to be getting their feet under them. They almost just beat the Bills on Thanksgiving. They're home. Everyone knows they play better at home. Why the hell are the dead Jags +1 on the road here? Do you guys like the Jags with me or no?
Aren't they -1 now?
Yeah.
If they are, I'm going to do a backflip.
Brother,
Yeah.
I love the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They are -1 now.
Love them.
Yes.
And I like the under.
Good.
It's gross.
Good.
I do like the under too.
You guys like the
Starting
under
to
too?
tick back.
Okay. Gosh, it is starting to come back. Where did it get?
Oh, wait.
How
What do
high
you
did
mean?
it
It's
get?
coming back to the over?
To the under. I was talking about.
Oh,
that.
good.
It went up.
And
and now it's
initially,
starting
yeah,
to come
it
down.
got up to 51.5. Now it's 51.
Love it.
Okay.
Trent,
it.
can we relax in the chat, please? Please
The
relax.
Jags-
What is he saying? I'm not watching.
Oh, he's asking about
Talking about
K-State.
K-State.
No, we can't go
Move.
back to K-State. We can't go back to K-State.
Yeah, let's relax.
Yeah, we talked about that enough. But Trent, you know why. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Any other football games?
Any other football? Yeah, there's
Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons against the Steelers at home.
I can't touch that game, but there is something to talk about. Who wants to bring it up? Javon?
Are we talking about Miami? Is that what we're talking
No.
about?
He asked about the Falcons, I think, and I thought you were going to bring up the Kenny Pickett square. Did anybody see the Kenny Pickett square?
You know, the Kenny Pickett square
Oh.
is interesting. I don't know if it scares me off because I don't think the Falcons are going to win this game with their defense
Right.
by any means. So it's a little scary, but I'm cool with that.
You talking about the Kenny Pickett 1.5 pass rush receiving touchdowns, and the guy
Yeah.
hasn't thrown a fucking touchdown pass in like 87 years.
Yeah.
Hey. That's my offensive rookie of the year you're talking about, all right?
Well,
And
you
it's
better
not,
hope he fucking hits that prop.
it's not dead. Oh, Kenny Pickett's heating up, baby. Kenny Pickett's heating up.
So
Yeah,
are
no
you
play
not
on that.
taking the Falcons just because of that stuff?
No. This is tough.
Okay.
This is too tough of a read. Too tough of a read.
Javon, thoughts on that game?
I like the Falcons. I think
Okay.
it's everybody is like I love what I saw from Kenny Pickett, but at the end of the day, there's something to be said about the price you're getting on the Falcons here, which is they're the most consistent team or inconsistent team on the face of earth.
Yes.
I mean, give me
And
that.
then I could put you guys down for the 49ers -4 to end the Dolphins winning streak.
Yeah, do it to throw a pick.
Give me a nuke on the money line. I will be 5 units on the money line for the San Francisco 49ers. It is almost 1A, 1B for the Cowboys and the Niners for me.
I love the Niners. I'm with you. They end the
Love
streak.
it.
And like Javon is saying, I came prepped. I wanted to show you guys this. Another great find from our friend Javon who lives in the app. Let's pull this up real quick.
Scott was praying for them to put that up.
Boom.
I was praying.
Longest active streak of passes attempted without an interception. Tua. This has been the talk of the town.
Love
The
it.
Dolphins are on fire. They're back. They're going to win the Super Bowl. They're trendy. They're fun. They're cool. They're good. Their coach is a dick, but everyone loves it for some reason. Everyone loves the Dolphins. And then you look at fucking the Prize Picks board. You take a peek over here. Sorry, my fingers can only move so freaking fast. You take a peek over here at the Prize Picks board, and you see Tua is up for a fucking interception. Here, boom. The guy hasn't had a fucking pick since 1982. And they're putting him up here. He's red out goblin. He's a red out goblin. Is that what you guys call him? Give me the fucking over. Tua's throwing a pick. He's going to get clapped. Correction game for the Dolphins here. Both these teams end up 8-4.
I will say, to be fair, they have Jimmy G up there, which is almost as equally as strange.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I'm taking the Niners just because he's up there for a pick and it's super weird, but it's going to be some weird stuff both ways in that game.
That's going to be an under game.
Yep.
Everybody's going to want that over. And speaking of that, let me just give you one more total. The
Yep.
Browns and Texans over, I am falling in love with. There is always an over that makes no sense. Last week, it was the Bears and the Jets. Nobody's taking this, yet it's moved up 1.5, 45 to 46.5. I hope there's not fireworks because I'm also going to play the Texans for the last time of the season. They are openly tanking, but we got to fade the narrative of Watson coming back. Although I've heard a lot that he hasn't played football in 2 years, so maybe it's a little bit of a trap. I'm going to bet responsibly.
I think the Browns roll. In my opinion.
You might be right. So 1 unit responsibly on the Texans. Have to do it. Then I'm never doing it again for the season. 2 units on the over.
Yeah.
Okay. That over's up to 47.5 on some books, by the way, DeGen.
Which is
That's
the same number that they were at last week against a obviously much better Dolphins offense, much worse defense, I would say. And that still went under. So interesting.
You're by the way, if anybody hasn't watched the Browns, their defense is terrible.
It's bad.
It's terrible.
It's bad, but it actually, I mean, they're coming off of a game where it looked semi-decent because the Bucs just refused.
Yeah, that's more of Todd Bowles than Brady being fucking washed.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, in terms of, they're coming into a game against the Texans offense who you might as well throw 11 of me out there.
Right.
Which is, I mean, and I don't know who brought this up or who sent this to us, but that the Dameon Pierce fantasy score is crazy, which is why
crazy high.
You taking that over?
Yeah, because I mean, you look at it, it's at a touchdown dependent number, and he hasn't had a pulse, especially like in the red zone for a touchdown, really at all since they've started really tanking. And he hasn't been getting a majority of the carries that he had at one point either. So it's that high for a reason. He's getting in the end zone.
Right.
Okay. Any other props really quick, Javon, before we move on?
No, those are the couple that I've looked at. They did put the Tom Brady 1.5 passing touchdowns back up, which it's hit the last couple weeks, but whenever they put that up, it's been going pretty well. So
Okay.
I'll be on that.
All right.
Love it.
Awesome. It's about that time, gents. It's about that time to find the squad ride. Okay. And also somebody in chat saying Mills was benched. I had no clue who's starting for him. Kyle Allen, ex-commander. Yep. He sucks.
Yep.
He sucks. Let's bet on him. This is how our brains work. So sick.
Hey, do you want an
anyways.
NBA play for the poll, or do you not?
Do you like it? What do you got?
Yeah, I think I like the Hawks because
Okay.
I think Trae Young is questionable, and Dejounte Murray is out, and somebody else is out. And you know how the NBA is. All you got to do is just buy bad news. DeAndre Hunter. Sorry, John Collins, DeAndre Hunter out for a week, announced today, and Trae Young questionable. Nuggets 2 up to 4. That's going to be my play today. Doesn't have to go in the squad ride by any means, but just so you know, because we skipped over NBA, that's what I'm going to be on.
Yeah,
Jovan, you like that play?
I do. I also
Okay.
definitely taken an interest in the Heat. This is a copycat game from 2 days ago where they're again on the road in Boston.
Butler's back.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Okay.
It's a big deal, and I know that's why it's smaller, but at the same time they're missing other pieces still. So to see that number still creeping down is interesting to me.
Yeah. Okay.
The Celtics also haven't lost a home game in forever, and they haven't lost a game just in general in forever. And they're coming off a game where the fucking king and queen of England were there, or Wales or some shit. I don't know why that even fucking matters, but maybe that does. I don't know. But like, why were they even there? Why did people even care about that in the first place? But I guess they enjoyed the show. I mean, Tatum dropped 50 or 49, whatever, in that game. So I would be super down to fade Tatum coming off a 49 piece. I'm in.
Love it.
Yeah,
I'm in. We could put that in as well. Miami +7. Put Atlanta in. You guys want to put in Utah tonight, or do you not want to put that in? The Utes, you're good?
I don't.
Okay. All right. What about college basketball then? We got to put in some CBBs. Do we want to put in App State?
yes.
I like
App State
Yeah.
plus 6.5.
6.5. Yep.
Okay. You want to put in Charleston Southern?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Okay. Jen, any other plays you love today?
I'm going to look real quick. How much time do we have? A few minutes? 2 minutes?
No, we got about a second. We can put Auburn in.
Rangers. The Rangers are fucking rolling tonight.
That is a fact.
The Rangers are rolling.
And somebody
Lord,
said the Cam Talbot goal is allowed too, which is that's solid.
What is it? Is it 2.5?
It's 3, which I will say that a lot of the 3, like, they end up there sometimes, but I'm willing to take that over for sure.
Yeah, 4-0 Rangers, exact score.
You guys want to take Rangers -1.5?
Oh, I mean, I am taking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lay it in.
All right.
Door shutout, sure.
All right. So we got App State +6.5. We've got the Atlanta Hawks +4.5. We got Miami +7, the Heat. We got Charleston Southern +11. And we got the Rangers -1.5. And DeGen will be in the house.
I will be in the house. By the way, someone said Illinois. That was another good one, too. I think we all liked Illinois, didn't we?
I do like Illinois. It's too late, though.
Should we swap them? Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. Trust our guts. But I do like that play.
Okay.
I do like that play. Go vote. Go vote. We got 2 minutes, chat. We got 2 minutes. Vote for the pick you think is going to fucking win. Okay? We're in this together. We're a cohesive unit. This is the sharpest group of people in the betting community right here. All right? All 600 of us in here right now. All right? So pick the fucking bet. Not that it's going to be on primetime TV. Not that's going to, be the most exciting or cool or the biggest game. Pick the bet you think is going to win. Trust your gut. Trust your brain. I trust you guys. All right? Sharp chat.
Buster Cherry in chat does have a good point. He said, I thought you were contrarians. The Rangers are very public. It should be noted, we pick our spots, and hockey is one of, if not the chalkiest sport out there. So
Sure.
Yeah. They're also a favorite, which every favorite is getting 80+% of everything today. All 3 games.
And it's a big price. Let's be honest. The Rangers have not been good in the last 10 games. They're probably equally as bad as Ottawa. So just to throw that out there.
All right. Well, the poll is close, man. App State's got like a couple more votes than the Rangers. It's close. I voted for App State. That's probably my favorite play today.
Moneyline sprinkle. Remember we said we were going to start doing that spread and
know.
moneyline sprinkle. What do you think? Huh? Maybe not.
Yeah, they're a little bit.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Okay, fair enough. Rio Grande
slippery
Valley.
slope, and then you start. God forbid you take the ML, and then that's the game they cover, and you're like, God damn it! Why didn't I just stick to my guns and stick with the points? I don't know.
Well, that's why you at least make sure you profit. I increase my units. I go 1.5 to 2 on the spread, and just a half unit on the money line.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I
That's
did.
smart.
I did that with Utah and Washington State last night. So
Nice.
one of them worked, one of them didn't. Still get paid out.
Okay. Well, we got App State on the road tonight against our once friend, now turned enemy, Mia Khalifa's stepbro, Ali Khalifa. Let's see if they can take him down. Don't sleep on App State. Don't let him get hot.
I've been to
All
Boone,
right.
North Carolina. Lovely little town.
Sure.
There we go.
Awesome. And remember, App State's best player, he's from Charlotte. All right. Big game for him tonight. Big
Oh.
game for him tonight. Really
Right.
excited to watch this fucking game. All right. Hell yeah. This
I
might
like
be the game of the night.
pointing at
Fuck
you
Illinois,
guys.
Maryland.
Like
This is the
the
game of the
Brady
night.
bunch. Oh.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Corey's saying Mia Khalifa overrated. Yeah, but Ali Khalifa's pretty good. He carries the weight for that fan. Not tonight, though. Not tonight. Also, not confirmed that they're related. Let's get that straight. Okay. Chat. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Good luck on the bets tonight. Jovan and DeGen, obviously, as always, good luck. DeGen, have fun at the game.
Thank
Good
you.
luck on the Rangers. Jovan, I'll catch you later. All right,
Yep.
brother.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Peace, guys.
We'll be
Good
seeing
luck.
All right.
you. Peace.